For me, I agree absolutely. You know, in the United Kingdom, I think it takes about £50 or so to get a driving license. And that is spread for a period of 10 years. And then to renew, it's about £20 for another 10 years. Now, you imagine a situation, for instance, if you want to, and the normal thing would have been that since these licenses, whether it's number plates, especially driving licenses, were given, you know, by the authorities, you would expect that if they come up with a new licensing regime, for instance, that they wait till your license expires. Then you now latch on to the new one, and then you pay whatever charges, you know, that you have to pay. But beyond that, again, you are asking, you know, about the possible response of Nigerians exactly to what is going on. I would think that it's not just about criticism or criticizing government agencies, you know, and the ministry or the federal government and so on. The people ultimately can determine, you know, the role of government officials in the country. And somebody has made the argument that it's important in a country for a government to be made to fear its people. Because if it is the other way around, they were in trouble, there's chaos and anarchy, when the people themselves have to fear the government. And we saw this on display in the January protests, you know, in this country. For so long, were the people subjected to increase in the tax regime through the fuel pumps, increase in fuel pumps and so on. Consistently, 5 naira, 6 naira, 11 naira, 22 naira. Each time there was an increase, the same justification, the same reason. It went to 32, 42 naira, 65 naira, then 97 naira. For the very last time it happened, that was one increase too much for the Nigerian people. And you saw the unprecedented display of rebellion across the length and breadth of this country. Not that the government reluctantly agreed to leave it, to peg it at 97 naira. They were not satisfied. Because they would have taken it to 140 naira, 200 naira, 250 naira. But the fear of what the people did at that particular point in time has kept the people at bay. And that's why I make the argument that it's important that a people act in such a manner that the government has the fear of the people. In the developed countries of the world, it's not a fear of this kind of rebellion, but what will happen when government officials step out of line. Because the first question they ask is, how will the public take it? You understand? And that keeps them in check. But in Nigeria, we know then they are people. You just push them a little bit more, and they would, you know, bend backwards. But after January, no government official, each time they even verge on talking about it in the media, the backlash from the media, from the Nigerian people and so on, is such that somebody tells them, Oga, we have to look for other ways to look for this money. And so they come up with these schemes, things like this. That's what they do. Just make a law. You know, you can get this money, you know, off the people and so on. And yet the people are not able to resist it. I think that we need that thought force in this country. The people have to wake up to the kind of oppression and, you know, oppressiveness by their, and I say across all political divides. It's not just in the federal government issue. All the political parties, governments, and so on, they have done this thing too consistently that the people can't afford to keep quiet.
If the people are looking for a way to harmonize the information or the data that we have across board, from the telecoms companies to FRSC, to a number of other immigration as well, and other agencies, if we're looking for harmonization, what should we be doing as a people? Forget about what the government is doing. What should we be doing as a people?
Well, since it's a government policy, and it has direct bearing, you know, yes, it affects the people, but has direct bearing on the way that government functions. It must be the government that must look for a way. But the people are doing their path. This spate of criticism and opposition to this, the fact that we're in this studio talking about this particular issue, and the fact that they have to, you know, give explanations time and time again, means that they are increasingly coming under pressure from the people. So, and the media, everybody, I believe, is doing, you know, their bit. But you see, beyond that, because, I mean, the reason they are giving the security, for goodness sake, this does not stand on its own. It has other security implications, this BCMR thing they are talking about. You must have an up-to-date forensic laboratory in this country to be able to process some of these things. Because you talk about fingerprints. Somebody murders somebody, or somebody uses a bomb somewhere to blow up something, and then they dust the cars, for the vehicles for evidence, and then there are some fingerprints and the rest. You have to take this thing somewhere. You have to take it to a data bank. You have to have an up-to-date, you know, forensic laboratory. So when you are doing the BCMR, What kind of, we had one established by the Shagari administration in those days, complete disrepair, just like so many other things that's going on in this country. Do we have, because you have, some other cases, involving, some people, important people in this country, and they have to go to South Africa, because they want to do the fingerprint, they want to do so many other things and so. So it's not just, it just doesn't end with there are other security imperatives.
Okay. Kenneth, if we were to say that we want to present a white paper of some sort or just some ideas to government in terms of harmonization, what will be your top 3 in terms of harmonization that you will be recommending to government?
That's a tough call, the way you put it. However, the first thing is to actually get the information from the bodies that currently have them. Now, like you said, and I've said that several times, we have to train our people properly. Because we have the same raw material that the white man has, the developed countries have. But if we don't now use the raw material as the raw material, being a human being, how do you train our policemen? How do you train our FRSC officers? How do you train our immigration officers? If they have the same training that the developed citizens of the developed countries have, they should perform well to the environment. So you get the information from whatever sources that currently have them. You now use them by trained personnel to achieve the purpose of which they are, not to wish on people. Because this information could also be used to wish on people. You say what you don't like here, before you get home, SS people have done something in your house because they know you have your address. They do something, they plant things there, we've seen that happen. They say, well, you do what you didn't do. So it is proper training, proper monitoring of the officers that will use this information. It's even more important than the information, because this information can be used to do dastardly acts. So my suggestion to the government will be, please collate from the bodies that currently have this information, all this information that you need, this data that you need. Don't penalize Nigerians. Now, use trained personnel to utilize the information and for the purpose for which the information is meant.
Okay. Now, someone just said I think there's an individual, one day Oluwatomi, on Twitter. So what is the position of the National Assembly on the BCMR extortion?
National Assembly. That's the main body of extortionists.
Yeah, I listened, somehow I was opportune to listen to a debate. I think it came via radio of the National Assembly over the road safety issue then. And then senator after senator after senator came down hard on the position of the... And at that particular thing, they asked them to suspend everything they were doing. And I think the argument too was that the act setting up the road safety did not make it a revenue collection agency. That was one of the arguments and so on. And of course, like I said, the price of the number plate was put at 45,000 naira to 70,000 naira, depending on the category of vehicles at that particular point in time. As far as I was concerned, it was a very sweet scheme. But the senators were so angry about the whole thing. But what happened at the end of the day? Of course, people, Nigerians, we have seen our Senate and our politicians and so on. So something must have happened, to make them accept, what eventually, we are now seeing. So these are some of the things. And then again, when the police issue also came in, at the Senate, again, the Senate advised the police and they kicked against it, asked that it be suspended, and told the police to go and collate and go and synergize with all the other agencies like Mr. Odega talked about, and with a view, to collecting all of this data from them. And that is what it's all about. Especially if you're talking about security. Part of the failure of American security, after, during the, at least as discovered by the agency or so, or the body that was set up to investigate into the failure of American security, was that there was not sufficient intergovernmental cooperation among the various agencies in the United States. And so it was important, that was the essence of even setting up the Department of Homeland Security, to collate the activities of some of these agencies for the purpose of working, more effectively. And so you want to believe that you would have a situation like this where you have greater intergovernmental agency, but what we have is intergovernmental rivalry, I think what happened is that, you know, the police just woke up and realized that, you know, somebody had stolen,
They didn't steal it, they took
or
it.
had taken. You understand? And it's like they beat their finger and say, wow, what do we do? So what they are now doing, I think, is catching up.
Okay.
But
All
they can
right.
catch up without inconveniencing the people.
Yes. Okay. Your final word, Kenneth.
My final was still saying they should think of Nigerians and not just of their pockets. They should please get this information from the agencies that currently have them and utilize them for what they're supposed to be used. But they must train people. And genuinely train people, not vote money, put it in their pockets, and go to Singapore and come back and say they've trained. They should genuinely train people. And we have to have a report from those agencies that we've sent our people to train them. We have to have a report from them, not from the people who sent, to tell us, Mr. A, Mr. B, and all that, pass our tests. They're fully trained.
The trained and the
Yes,
tested.
yes, not just sending them there to the ESTA code and all that, and then coming back
Then they
here
come back.
worse than they were when they were.
Mr. Chidi.
Yeah, well, I keep on saying that our political elites have failed us, and we as a people have also failed ourselves. It's as simple as that. Somebody has said that the price of democracy is eternal vigilance. Our people are not vigilant over their democracy. They are not vigilant over their government or officials, you know. And so I think that they need to be much more proactive. They must realize that there is a connection between their standard of living and the people that they purportedly put in power some 4 years back. It's only when they come to that realization that they must realize, because somebody finally has made the argument. I think the former French prime minister, president, he said that wars are too important to be left in the hands of generals. And that will posit that politics, especially in our climate, is too important to be left in the hands of politicians.
Thank you very
on that
much.
note.
Well, well, well. Heavy, heavy words. Thank you very much for coming. Mr. Achike Chude is a social
It's
commentator.
been a pleasure. Thank you.
As well as Mr. Kenneth Odidika, who's a legal practitioner. Thank you
very
very much for coming. So the debate is still on regarding this famous BCMR.